Joining me once again is Sam playing Jack.
I miss my beard and say funny things.
Catherine playing Mina.
Hi, howdy.
James playing Ilferi.
Yo ho, yar fiddly dee.
And Carter playing Zeodor.
Yo.
And as a reminder to our viewers, the D&D Beyond plugin is enabled, so if you want to see more details about our characters, you can see it on the sideboard.
Oh my god!
Honestly, I have it running just so I can keep track of people's health.
So
When it does update.
Last time on Zeitgeist, our constables had been called to the scene of a murder. A murder that occurred at least halfway on their jurisdiction, as the Elphus? Is that a word?
Elphus Presley, yes.
Elf woman who was murdered was impaled on a fence bordering the Denoran consulate.
Oh, I think elf is gender neutral, man.
Yes. It is.
Come on.
Headlanded on our side of the fence, we get to examine the body.
And upon examining the body, they found some strange things had occurred that didn't quite match up with the stories they were being told.
Yeah, for one thing, everybody got dosed.
Give me the drugs!
No. I am keeping the drugs away from specifically the bird.
The bird now has the drugs.
Yay!
Just kidding. Alright, so you guys were just wrapping up your investigation of the consulate building, I believe.
Yes. We were just about to...
I think talk to the priest or cleric or whatever you call him.
That was my vote.
The guy who autopsied the body.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who obviously
We had decided on
modified
that.
stuff.
I believe we were given his home address.
Yes, I believe so. As you go out of the consulate building, you do see there's still a bit of a crowd of people kind of milling about. The Undertaker is still kind of just sitting on the edge of his hearse, just kicking his legs, waiting.
And then the lights go out, and then they come back up, and he's in the middle of the ring.
Thank you, Carter.
You're welcome.
And we're all like, dude, we respect you, but fuck, you're old, please stop.
So who was it? That was... What?
We're making
The
jokes
Undertaker.
about the Undertaker's there, so we're making wrestling jokes.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, I didn't even understand what was going on there. Sorry, I was immersed in the narrative and did not understand your pop culture references.
There's this fat guy next to him that keeps being like, oh, yes!
Look, The Undertaker is one of 4 wrestlers I can reference, so...
Wow. I think that's more than I could. Alright. Does anyone want to do anything else here before moving on?
I burned down the city.
Oh no.
The city is not burned down.
I activate the nuke I stole from RHT headquarters.
Damn, it was really easy to destroy all of Flint, apparently.
Alright, welcome to Curse of Strahd Part 2.
Zeodor's the villain now.
The town was misnamed. It's not Flint, it's Tinder.
Although among the note though, You do remember hearing in the news that there's been a rash of 18 small fires in the Parody Lake district that's believed to be related to arson.
Oh shit.
So far, the burns have killed over 40, but the fire responders have managed to keep them from spreading. Fires seem to be targeting properties of factory owners, even the occasional factory outbuilding, and are so believed to be the work of Gale.
The work of what?
Gale, the terrorist who I think I briefly mentioned last time.
Yes.
Uh,
Terrorist works for Unseen Court.
Right. Okay, that is something
Go
to
talk to Frankie about
note
this
of.
one.
Oh, also, I'm not sure if I made it clear last time. You guys found on the victim's body a document saying that she had been arrested for something.
Yep.
Yes.
We have her bill paid by her stepdad and a receipt signed by G.W. Silvo Feldman.
Okay, yeah, those are two different things. So the first item is her arrest bail document.
Yes.
And you would know if you wanted to get more information on her criminal record that you could go to the Parody Lake prefect.
Right.
Okay,
Um,
that's good to know. We can probably. I mean, that's probably gonna go on our list.
The other document seems to be related to the drug that you found lacing the breakfast items.
Yep.
could you go over that in a little bit more detail again?
What's that?
The about the drug lacing the breakfast items.
It was Faye Pepper, right?
Yeah, it was Faye Pepper. That somebody had figured that out by just looking at the chocolates themselves, and then looking at the
I think me and Mina did.
and then cross-checking that with the receipt. Seems to match that that sort of purchase. But the only the receipt is signed DW,
Right.
and then on the back has the Silvo Dioran Feldman Family Wharf.
Dioran. That's what that said.
It's just signed DW.
Yep.
Yes.
There was a
we're
mention-
looking- Damn it! I was just going there.
There was a mention of like 12,000 gold pieces worth
Yeah,
of
that's
stuff.
16 drams or 48 drams, valued of total of 2450 gold. Signed DW.
Yeah.
And by drams, they mean
It's like
a
a
unit
figure
of measurement.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I guess we should.
Wasn't
ask...
there like 12 things on that list?
Yeah, purchase of a dozen items totaling 5,400
No.
gold.
What was the grand total?
2450.
2450.
2450.
But where is the cleric's home? Because we got his home address, but where is it?
It is not too far. It's in this district.
Okay, yeah, then I think that's definitely where we want to go first
Okay.
before we leave North Shore.
Okay. So you push your way through a crowd of people that have all been gawking outside, and make your way towards the address you have.
On the way, I cast Goodberry because I forgot I know that spell.
Oh,
And I
good
passed
berry,
out,
home with a good berry.
I pass out 3 to everyone except for I'll just keep 1 of myself, but 3 to everyone else.
And you do hear some people kind of talking, spreading rumors of what they saw as as you pass through.
Oh, I should grab my dice. Whoops. Can we figure out what kind of things people are saying?
Sure. Thank you for picking up on that heavy hint I've been doing for the past 10 minutes.
I couldn't hear the hint over all of the wrestling references.
Give me
one wrestling reference.
give me a persuasion check.
Persuasion? Okay.
Can I also do that?
Sure.
17.
One person says they saw a woman crash out of a window, hit the fence, and then there were 2 gunshots, a few seconds apart. When she jumped, she had her arms covering her face as if to shield herself. And
Woman crash out of window. Hold on. Writing is slower than words speaking. Woman crash out of window, then 2 gunshots. And when she hit the fence, she was shielding her face?
Mm-hmm.
Or I thought you said she was shielding her face when she jumped out the window.
When she jumped, she had her arms covering her face as if to shield herself.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which
okay.
would make sense if you were jumping out a glass window.
Or if you've just seen something.
And with a 17, you'll get a second bit of info when you're ready.
Yeah, I'm ready now.
Someone was up in the window, but he looked like he was completely black, except for something shiny, perhaps a gun. A moment later, he had vanished. And that check is going to represent 30 minutes of time. I'm just going to keep track. You guys showed up at 11. And then you spent about 30 minutes around the consulate, and then we'll say 30 minutes more for that bit of info.
Okay.
Did someone else want to make a check to ask people in the crowd?
I got a 15, so nothing new.
No,
got-
you. And there's more information to begin.
Okay, I got a 15.
A man with a goatee went up to the dying woman, and she handed him a bundle of papers and then whispered something before she died. The man yanked a yellow pendant and necklace off the woman's neck before running away.
I got
And-
a
Still alive when she landed.
And we know that now that what was taken was a pendant.
And stack papers.
I got a 14.
A man sprinted down the street and turned down an alley carrying an armful of something, and they point out the alley to you.
Okay, so the alley is... Alright, well, if the alley is, like, right here, then...
Yeah, and that's where we're going first.
Yeah.
What about the alley? Sorry, I'm trying to write notes as fast as I can, but I'm not quick.
Sure.
The guy, presumably the one that took the papers from her and the pendant, went down an alley.
Okay.
And Mina, did you make a check?
Yeah! 5!
Okay.
That bitch dead.
Okay. So if you wanted to spend more time, you could all make another round of checks, or you can just move on and investigate the alley, or...
Yeah, I think we're heading
Yeah,
to
I
the
think
alley.
we'll get more information by doing more active investigation than just...
Yeah, it's better to get
muddling
there
around
before
here.
any clues get knocked
Okay.
away or whatever.
Did someone just scream in the background somewhere?
It's the background city noise.
I think it's like supposed to be a whistle.
Yeah.
It sounded
It
like
does
a
sound
woman
like a
that
scream.
jumped out of a window.
Huh? Oh, yeah.
Can you turn that down in our mix just a little bit?
You can also turn it down.
I thought you would just be getting it from your own browser.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not hearing shit from the browser.
Are you hearing it from me?
Oh, weird.
Yeah, I heard it from I don't know where.
Now we're
Huh.
good.
Don't mute
I'm
it.
only getting it from the browser.
Yeah, you should
Never
only
mind,
be...
I'm only getting it from the browser.
Okay.
Oh, I had my master music level turned way down low.
Okay.
You can't go into...
So I don't know
Um,
where I heard it.
Maybe you. I mean, the whistle was way louder.
It
than
could have gone
everything
into
else.
someone else's mic from an open.
Maybe there was actually a screaming girl outside.
Yeah, maybe there was.
Yeah,
Maybe a
you
girl
call the
did
cops.
jump out of a window.
Dying, and it's your fault.
No, it's not my fault. I'm not doing anything about it, but I have no involvement.
So
I
was
mean,
it the
now we
goatee
get into
guy?
an ethical argument, and
Sorry, was it the goatee guy they said that ran into the alley?
they just said a
One
man. so
one person
presume-
described them as a goateed man. The other did not offer a description.
But
But-
did say he was carrying something.
Carrying papers independent. But she still had papers when she was recovered, so that's also interesting.
I don't know where you got that information.
Huh? We found papers on her body.
Yeah, we found her stuff.
Oh,
Yeah, we found like scraps of paper in her pockets, not like.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
She was
I
Okay.
don't know the difference of like I don't know how many papers were
Sure.
taken from her.
Papers would be like you're holding a stack of papers. What we found was like notes in a pocket.
Right.
Okay.
okay. So
Down
where
the
we?
alleyway.
Okay, you want to search the alley?
And I want to let me look. I have not done a wild shape yet, correct?
I don't believe so yet today.
Okay. But I did do my Sky Seer's Blessing, I'm pretty sure.
I think so.
I'm going to turn into a ferret for a couple hours.
Okay.
Are you just piecing out and gonna go do ferret stuff?
No, I'm with you. I'm with you guys, but it's easier. I can hide better and I can investigate better as a ferret than I can as a bird person.
Try doing a ferret dance. That worked really well last time.
You know what? It could have. Oh, sorry, a weasel, not a ferret.
All right. Give me Arcana, Perception, Insight, or Investigation.
Yeah.
Uh,
give me 1 sec.
Can we do more than one?
Sure.
Okay. And the perception does it rely on hearing or smell?
I'll allow it.
Okay. So for my perception, I have I rolled a natural 1 and a natural 20. So a 25 for my perception,
Okay.
and for my arcana, 16.
Okay.
13 investigation.
22 Arcana.
12 arcana.
What were the other two options?
Insight and
Oh,
Investigation.
me, I can't roll.
Oh, insight.
Can I just roll
I'll-
all of these?
Well, let me just start telling you what you found so far.
Okay.
So, Ilferi, you're sniffing around as a weasel, and you come across a splurt of oddly coagulated blood that sits in a smear of mud.
Define oddly coagulated.
And you can tell that it is infused with necromantic energy.
And where was that?
In the mud in the alley.
It's
Zeodor?
probably weird because it stands out. Like I can still tell there's blood in the mud.
Yeah.
Okay.
Zeodor, you can tell that electrical magic was used here recently.
Okay. So some kind of lightning magic was used here. I also got a. Well, you got more rolls. For
Yeah.
yourself. I rolled one of the
Jack,
other
what
ones.
did you roll?
I rolled investigation. I got a 13.
Okay, you find signs of a brief scuffle and a fallen piece of paper which looks like a copy of a deed of ownership for a canal barge, marked with the seal of the Denoran consulate.
Is there a name for the barge?
No. It's just it just notes the canal that it goes down, which is the main canal of the city.
Those like papers of ownership.
Yeah, papers, deed of ownership. Yeah. So yeah, there's this canal that you have that goes from Parody Lake through Bosom Strand out to the bay.
Yeah.
All right.
This is an alley near where again? Sorry.
Right near the consulate.
Near the consulate.
So on the north side of North Shore.
Well, the north side of North Shore is the north side of North Shore is a beach. Like
Right.
across the street from the consulate is beach. So yeah, this is on the very north tip of North Shore.
Okay, I just needed to label my notes because I just noticed I wrote the word here, and here is not descriptive if you don't know where you are.
That would be important for good note taking.
I've always sucked at notes.
Did Mina do a roll?
Yeah, and every roll it would have been was much lower than everything you guys rolled.
I think you guys got everything you could have out of there, though.
Nobody
okay.
rolled insight. I was actually about to roll one really quick.
It was insight or investigation,
Oh, okay.
which is
Yeah.
what Jack found.
I
Gotcha.
rolled investigation. I got a nat 20 for a 25.
Okay. Well, you find the same stuff
Why am
Jack
I even
does.
here?
I don't know. I would have rolled insight, but I didn't realize that you had rolled investigation. And I have a +5 to investigation and arcana.
I don't think I have a +5 to anything. Nope.
I got a few plus
Signify me
fives.
where bards and rogues are better at your job than you are.
Actually,
I
I have
have-
quite a few plus
There's
fives.
no bards in this party.
I have
No, but that's
three,
just a general statement.
Oh yeah,
I
that is
have
kind of
3
their
+5s
thing.
and 2 +7s.
Oh, right. Because you're a rogue, and you have...
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright.
Okay.
So you
Especially
guys,
given that next level, those +7s are going to be +9s.
Fuck yourself.
so you guys found some good info digging around the alley. And I believe you said you wanted to go talk to the cleric next.
Yeah.
So you go to the address that was provided for Bartide Janus, or maybe it's Janus.
Is that the cleric's name?
Yes,
Is it a J-A-N-S?
yes, Jannis.
Yeah, it's probably Janus.
It's a fairly well-to-do townhouse, a little ways from the consulate.
Cool.
Knock on the door.
Door opens and a middle-aged human opens the door. Oh, hello. May I help you?
We're with the Royal Homeland Constabulary. Would Master Janus be home?
Ah, yes, Janus, that is me. I suppose I should have expected you. Come in, please.
I'm gonna kind of hop up on Mina's arm, like,
Oh yeah,
on
you're
her
still
shoulder.
ferret.
Yep.
I'm
Ah!
a weasel for 2 hours.
I scratched the weasel's chin.
Yeah.
Fascinating creature you have there.
Thanks, he's a bird.
Right.
Helper
Right this way.
Helper looks at the ferret, then looks at the man, then looks at the ferret, and feels very much like the middle child in this moment.
Come and seats you in a parlor. Now, how may I be helping you, officers?
So we just came from the consulate. And we saw Miss Nalasa.
Yes, very tragic. I'm not sure what I can tell you. I did not see very much, but
Did you fix up her face?
yes. The consular asked it of me.
Yeah, and what did you fix?
There was some very nasty looking um, slash across her face.
Okay.
I don't, like I said, I did not see the attack, or
In
nobody
your,
told me any details of what occurred.
medical
But
opinion, what would that slash be from? A knife, a sword, laceration from glass?
it looked like, if you allow me to be frank, it looked like something from a beast. But I don't know what sort of beast may have been in the consulate building.
So you're saying like a claw?
Yes,
Alright.
4 straight, deep gouges.
Anything else you had you fix up on her?
No, it's very odd. They asked me to. I don't even know. They'd probably be upset that I tell you this, but I do not want to hide anything from you.
That's
They wanted it to look like she died of the gun wounds.
I'd like
Do
to
I
make an
believe him?
insight check.
Yeah.
Sure.
I got a 21 insight.
Insight 18.
He seems sincere to each of you.
The gun wounds and not the fall.
That's I don't, like I said, I don't know the details, and I'm more interested in healing wounds than knowing how they're made. And the consular told me to heal her up, heal her face, and leave the gun wounds and the impaling wound.
You do a lot of work for the consulate?
Here or there. Usually isn't involved very much. It's a fairly simple job. Every now and then they have me go afield or see to the sickness and illnesses of visiting W dignitaries.
Is this guy human?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Did you find anything? Did you see the body on the fence or only once it was inside?
I helped bring her inside.
Did you see anything around the body when you were getting her off the fence?
Anything such as
Pieces of clothing, paper,
I
trinkets,
was
anything that might have fallen out of pockets, anything she might have been carrying?
I was a little distracted by pulling a body off of a fence, but no, I did not notice anything.
I don't have my notes, so I can't think of things to ask.
Well, you're also a ferret, so.
I could stop being weird at any time.
So, did
Weasel.
you also see the wound on her leg?
I noticed it. A gunshot.
Right.
Or sorry, 1 second. I
No,
meant
that was
just
a slash, wasn't it?
No, that was the gunshot.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I'm just making
You're
sure
right,
I
you're
don't
right, you're right.
misspeak.
The blood spatter looked like a slash, but the leg
is-
looked like a gunshot.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah, we had expected to find a gunshot wound on the leg, and we didn't. Or find a slash on the leg because
we
of the
didn't.
blood
You're right.
pattern, but we didn't.
So was the remainder of the wound on her scalp part of the original slash marks that were on her face?
Well, I'm not. I did the best I could to heal up what I could, but
Sure, when you're working
like
with
I
dead
said,
tissue, it's not always perfect.
yes, that's quite true. Are you a practitioner?
No, I just know a lot about death.
Hmm. These are troubling times we live in.
Well, I mean, I grew up in Danwar, so...
Oh, did you know?
I mean, for a while, I got here when I was like 8 or 9.
Uh, between you and me, I much prefer it how it is down here.
Yeah, my mom died in a revolution of sorts in our town, so yeah,
Oh,
not so much with the fun. Yeah.
oh my, yes. I still have my ties to the homeland, but I do prefer working abroad.
Well, I just say I'm from Flint,
It's easier.
but everyone knows I'm not from here originally. The horns kind of give it away.
Yeah, it's a bit of a dead giveaway. Is there anything else I can help you with, officers?
Let's see.
Those are all the questions I had.
Well, if you think of anything else, feel free to stop by again. I don't know. I'd like to know what exactly went down. The consular seemed very, uh, how do you say,
Creepy?
shifty.
Sure, we'll go with that.
What version of events did they give you as to what happened?
They told me nothing. I find it easier to not ask questions sometimes.
This has nothing to do with the body, but what do you know about Faye Pepper?
Fey pepper?
Mm-hmm.
A drug used by low-down um, people who have nothing to better to do with their days than lose their selves. I know
That's
nothing.
currently the entire staff at the consulate, so you know.
Tell me, did you eat any of the breakfast that was brought?
Oh, no, I was busy in my office when Nilasa had arrived that morning, I suppose. She does bring breakfast by occasionally.
Yeah, I don't know if all breakfast, but this one was dosed.
Oh my, that's strange they would send me home instead of having me tend to the other employees.
Oh, they only found out when we got there.
They
That's something
hadn't
we
realized.
It's still troubling. Maybe I should check back in. I don't know. The consular sent me home, but that seems troubling.
If the counselor sent you home, then he knows where you are. If he believes that you are necessary, he will send for you.
Oh,
I suppose
I
you're
was
right.
gonna actually squeak an agreement to what the cleric was saying. Like, yeah, you should go back. Like, squeak and nod.
I mean, you can still do that. It's my word against the ferret.
Yeah, no, I wanted to say I squeak and nod, but I wanted to make sure that it was to what the cleric was saying, not what you were saying, which was the exact opposite.
He kind of looks between the ferret and Theodore and like, it is a very strange bird.
Birds are assholes.
Did you just call a fairy an asshole? He's been nothing but the most polite pirate you've ever met.
He's met a lot of pirates.
It's true. I spent decades as a smuggler.
So, if we need to talk to you again, can we find you here? Or
Yes, yes, of course. Here or at work.
were you planning on going out of town anytime soon?
No.
Alright.
I'm fully cooperating. I want to know what happened, and I think the best I'll be able to get at this point is rumor from my coworkers in the morning. So,
We'll keep you posted if anything interesting.
I'd appreciate it. I don't know
Oh
why he just
shit!
became
There's a
Irish.
spell I can cast as an animal.
A spell?
A spell, shape water, does not require verbal components.
Oh. I thought there was like
cool.
a hard rule on whether you could cast or
Yeah,
not.
I thought you can't cast as an animal at all.
Yeah,
You can't
until...
you can't do verbal components because you don't have the vocal cords for it.
Yeah.
But if you have the if you can gesture, you could do somatic components. I'll double check, but
Yeah, isn't there a feature you get later that's like you can cast spells as
oh, never mind. You can't cast spells, and your ability to speak or take any actions is limited to
Yeah.
capabilities, but you can maintain concentration. Never mind. I haven't been able to find a feat like that, but
It's
it's
not a
cool.
feat, I thought it was a feature that you get at a certain level.
Oh, maybe.
Might be a-
Maybe as the Moonwalker or whatever. Anyway.
Yep. Yeah, he seems to be telling the truth.
Yeah.
I don't remember what our next step was going to be.
You're probably gonna go to the inn.
Yeah,
So the three threads,
Tavern?
the other three threads I'd laid out were the tavern, the foreign doctor who you have the address of,
Yes.
and her adopted father.
Yep. I want to talk to the foreign guy.
Let's go talk to the foreign guy. Make some
Yes, please.
Okay. Does that sound good to everyone?
Yeah,
Yep.
going to the tavern seems good.
Or that's two different things.
That's two different
Oh,
things.
sorry. What?
Foreign doctor.
Foreign doctor. Okay, sure.
I feel like everyone at the tavern's gonna be a lot easier to talk to than the higher echelon people who might have something to lose.
True. And I do have spell slots left for the day.
And just as a kind of structuring note, these are three separate threads that can lead into different directions and don't necessarily have too much to do with each other. If you come to a dead end in one, it's worth kind of looking into the other just so we don't get stuck and you think that, you know, whatever you choose has to pan out.
Fair.
Yep.
Just a little behind the scenes. I just, you know, just to keep the game flowing.
I mean, the
How
other
long
thing
did
about
it
the
take for
tavern-
us to get from the alley to the cleric?
I have the time now as 1 p.m.
Yeah, so we're still in the middle of the day, so it doesn't seem worth it to go to the tavern right now.
Yeah. Well, I'm also trying to track how long I have 2 hours of wild shape.
Okay, so it's been about 30 minutes since you did your wild shape.
I thought he did his wild shape.
Hmm?
Or
I thought it was like noon when we.
oh yeah, when you started searching the alley, you turned it. Yeah, so it's okay. It's been an hour. It's been 1 hour.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was. Sorry, I didn't realize how long it had taken for us to do the alley stuff because we had done that like 30 minutes of talking, which I wasn't a weasel for.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but that was from like 11:30 to noon.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, so the address you have for Dr. Wolfgang von Recklinghausen is at the House of Blue Birds
And where is that?
on the North Shore.
Okay, yeah. Well, we want to
And-
investigate what we can in the North Shore before we leave.
Oh, where was he again? Sorry.
A place called the House of Blue Birds in the North Shore.
North Shore. Okay.
Which is still where we are.
And why did we want to talk to him again?
Because she was talking to him before she died.
talking to him before she died. How far before?
Inside the consulate.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, let's head over there. Everybody say hi, Lemmy.
Hi, Lemmy.
Hi, Lemmy. Poop.
Poop.
Lemmy, you need to poop.
You say that until he just decides to write then and there.
Dude, if he pooped on this desk, I would not even be mad.
Okay. Fair enough.
TOS.
Does it count if it's an animal?
I
think so.
don't know. I don't
I'd
feel like
count it.
anyone would
You know, I
intentionally.
would that count, but I'm like, there was a guy who was just like close-up videos of it.
Yo, what's up, fellas? Tonight we're gonna have a cat shit.
Excuse you, they call it cat scat?
Oh man, that's the name of the channel.
I thought Cat Scat was a really odd follow-up to Goof Troop.
I want to
Oh my God.
cease and desist this line of talking.
All right. So you
I mean,
guys.
they got Scatman John onto the.
No, it's season
We got
C&D.
Scat.
C&D.
You guys make your way, asking
Downtown.
around, and
No,
you,
not downtown. We're still in North Shore.
around town. See, North Shore is on the outskirts, so it's around the town. You find your way to the House of Blue Birds, which appears to be a hostel.
Okay, sure.
I'll climb up on Jack's shoulder this time.
Okay.
What did I do?
I pick him up off my shoulder and put him on Mina's shoulder.
I pick him up and put him on Theodore's shoulder.
Mhm.
No,
Which
I'm
shoulder?
not gonna play second fiddle.
Which
Just
shoulder?
changing
Very
things up.
important.
The one that has a bad arm.
Oh my God.
I want this little bastard to fall. I'm very insulted by animals that don't choose me, and right now, I'm even more hurt because I know he's more intelligent than most animals.
Alright, you're on my left shoulder. Good luck.
Can I get a little string to tie around your hand?
No. Everybody wants to rock to wind a piece of string around. Anyway, you enter the House of Bluebirds and are greeted by a plump hostess. Hello, welcome to the House of Bluebirds. How may I help you? Do you need a room for the night?
No, we were looking for the foreign doctor, whose name I'm sure I have somewhere.
Dr. Wolfgang.
Yes,
Not that I can
Dr.
say that.
Wolfgang.
Ah,
Right here.
another one.
Wolfgang von Recklinghausen.
Another one.
Has someone been here to see him already today?
Oh, we had another officer in just a little while ago.
No, you didn't. Okay, that's not good.
I'm sorry.
Wait,
Where is
officer
he?
or constable?
Officer?
Can you describe this officer for us?
They showed a police badge. I thought it was, legitimate. I had no reason to doubt them or anything.
It may be, but if you can give us a description, we can check it over with headquarters and clear this whole thing up.
Certainly. Would you mind if I saw your, identification?
Yeah, I'll pull mine out.
Yep.
Okay.
Gold badge.
She kind of, like, squints down. Like, you can tell she doesn't know what she's looking for at all. But she, like, leans in close and squints and, like, oh, I mean, it didn't look all that different, but, well, he gave his name as Officer Roger Porter.
What do you look like?
He had light-colored hair. He was tall, clean-shaven.
Was he human or?
Yes.
Okay, well, we'll look into that. back to the reason we're here. Is the doctor around?
No. Well, he came in, rushing in, claiming he was coming back from a surgery. Asked for water and a towel to wipe blood from his hands, and then hurried to his room. And a few minutes later, well, I don't know where he went after that.
What time was this?
Oh, it was this morning, late morning, I suppose, or mid to late morning. I was busy preparing breakfast for the guests. I didn't think too much of it at the time until a visit from 2 different police groups.
Can you show us where Dr. Recklinghausen has been staying?
Oh, yes, I suppose.
Walk.
Oh, he also. Oh, sorry. I said cleanly shaved, but he actually did have a pencil-thin mustache.
Ooh.
Oh, he's evil.
She leads you down a hall and into a room, and kind of gestures. This is the bed where he was staying.
I'm gonna hop off a shoulder and start like poking around.
The mattress has been like turned over, and there's like a trunk that's been like turned over and
So
empty.
someone's clearly gone through this.
Yeah.
This room. Did Officer Porter go through this room?
Oh yes, he went through and looked like he was searching for something particular. I'm not sure what, and he scooped up the personal items of Dr. Recklinghausen and said it was evidence or something, and
Did you happen to see what he took?
just looked like normal travel clothes, hairbrush, cologne.
Thank you.
Can I do a perception check for the room?
Sure.
And I guess I'm just gonna focus on like smells and sound. Well, I guess there's not really sounds, but like things that smell off, I guess.
Mm.
Yeah, I'd like to do an investigation, see if they missed anything.
Okay.
14?
22.
Elferi, you. Let's see. You find a rag on the ground. It smells of oil. And a puddle of black fluid. Theodore, what did you roll?
14 investigation.
Yeah, you don't find anything more than that.
I
I'd
want
investigate as well.
to kind of see what that oil is. Does it look like magical in nature?
Seems to have a twinge of magic to it.
Can I make a spellcraft? Or I mean, not sorry, an arcana on it.
Sure.
What game do you think this is, James?
3.5.
Talk about poop on stream, okay?
My arcana is a 9.
Yeah, it seems to have some tinge of magical aura to it, but you can't quite place it.
Where did you
This
find
is-
this?
I can point it out to you guys. It's like on the ground somewhere.
Weasel point.
Under the bed.
Yeah, where did he find it?
Like between the door and the bed.
Yeah, I'll. You said it's black fluid. Is it like some kind of mechanical oil? Like, could I roll? Like, could I roll with my tinker tools proficiency?
I'll allow it.
Cool. That's a 24.
Yeah, so there's definitely some like shadow energy laced in this oil. It's not normal. You'd have to take it back to your like lab and examine it further though to figure out what it's composed of.
I put it in a specimen bottle.
All right.
I make a bad decision. I'm gonna like taste a little of it.
Yeah. Turns out it's liquid fey pepper. You're tripping balls.
Turns out it's weasel killer.
It tastes like oil.
Gross.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
I'm gonna like,
It lingers.
well, that's unfortunate.
But this liquid is all black. It doesn't have the like white flecks in it like the oil that we found on Axis Island, right?
No.
'Kay.
But it does seem to have a similar consistency.
Okay. When I get this back to my lab, I will compare it to the sample of that I have.
And we have the rag with an oil smell. So it seems like they tried to clean up the puddle with this rag.
The rag seems to have a different different kind of oil.
Okay, I'm gonna kind of like pick
Wait.
that up.
The rag has a different oil from the puddle.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I had it written correctly, and then I changed my notes because Sam's were different, and I was right.
Okay, yeah, I misunderstood.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Sorry.
So I'm gonna kind of pick that rag up and like carry it up to the group.
Okay. Does anyone want to examine that rag?
Sure.
Yeah, I'll let Theodore do that.
Is it an Arcana check for this one?
No, this one can be just with your tinker's tools or perception, or
Cool.
some sort of int based something.
Yeah, I'll do tools and int.
I'll
17?
do a perception on it as well. Is this gonna be scent based or is this more?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Oof, bad. 13. Sorry, 12.
I'll give you advantage because you carried it in your mouth.
I already had advantage for it being scent based.
Oh, okay.
I'll take double advantage. Ha ha ha.
Zeodore, this seems more like an oil that you would use to like wipe and maintain a sword,
Oh, okay.
like a mineral oil.
Yeah. I will still take it in as evidence. I have lots of bottles.
And as you guys are kind of wrapping up, you kind of like you're all kind of standing in the door, or the hostess is standing in the doorway, and then you hear like a kind of rap on the open door, and a cleaning lady's like, "Madam, should I clean up the room yet, or are the officers done?"
Constables.
I'll pat her on the leg, the hostess on the leg, and just give her like a little weasel thumbs up.
No, don't listen to the weasel. Could you not clean this room for 24 hours, please, and just leave it? Like, I will pay for this room to remain empty for 24 hours. So you will go a night without having someone in it, but I will pay for it to be not cleaned and just left empty.
Well, I suppose that's doable, and what's the harm? Sure.
How much is this room for a night?
do work.
Oh, don't forget to keep your receipt so you can get reimbursed.
I'm not worried about that.
You guys are given a stipend, so
Oh, but that's not a work stipend.
yeah, it is.
It kind of exactly is that in a lot
No,
of ways.
that's supposed to be our pay.
Our
right?
pay
No,
and
it's
our
a combination
supplement
of-
outfitting ourselves.
It's a combination
Oh.
of stipend and pay.
Yeah, effectively we have a per diem.
Um,
So it's literally not a per diem since we're paid per thing. but whatever.
8 silver.
Oh. I give her a full gold.
Thank you, Madam Officer.
Not a problem. Just make sure that you do not let anyone else in here. I don't care what badge they show you, unless it is one of the three of us or the weasel.
Oh, I'm gonna tug on Mina and do a little like shrub dance.
Um,
Or
Shrubbles cannot come on his own. No, no, no.
I'm going to escort Shrubbles into here if Shrubbles is gonna be in this room.
I totally forgot
Until
Shrubbles
Shrubbles gets
again.
his own badge, which I do
Yeah.
expect to happen. Until that happens,
I
Actually,
totally forgot about Shrubbles again.
I think Shrubbles might be a clerk. I think Shrubbles might do my paperwork.
that actually, I love that idea.
that almost that almost seems like something that a creature with those stats could do.
Yeah.
The cleaning lady kind of goes like, "Do you think the doctor's okay? He looked like I don't know. He didn't look so good."
We'll do our best to make
Yeah.
sure that he is.
I've got some theories on that, and he may be in trouble.
Can I make an insight check?
Sure.
18.
I mean, she seems concerned and seems like she may know something more about having seen the doctor when he came in.
Because I don't want to. Hold on. How long has it been? Like an hour and a half at this point?
I think so.
Just de-weasel and talk to her.
That's what I'm trying to consider. I was trying to consider like how much longer I had. Yeah, I'll turn into myself.
Oh! Mercy.
Sorry, he's actually a bird.
A little bit of warning could have sufficed.
Well, I can never tell when he's gonna do that.
Sorry, it's easier to poke around as a weasel. Here's my badge, by the way. I'll present my badge.
she again leans in really close and squints like she knows what she's looking for, and like glares up at you and down at it.
I don't have like every face I can have on that badge, but this is the common one.
I don't think the badges are like photo ID, are they?
I don't know.
I just imagine them as like
Badges.
badge,
Yeah.
like shield.
That's fair. Yeah. Whatever.
But they can be whatever. Actually, did they? I thought they might have had a picture of them in the big
maybe.
book.
Look,
There's
it's
someone
important.
at the office doing miniature paintings of every single person.
It's
Oh,
important that we
fucking
have
bad.
pictures because otherwise we might just die to rocks falling.
It is important. You're right. Anyway,
Tell me more about the doctor. I'm gonna to the cleaning lady. Did he seem sick or like
Well-
scared or?
he had a bandage with dressing on his chest. But there wasn't any blood. But when he left, his shirt that was here, I guess the other officer must have taken it. It had a odd black stain on it that smelled like engine grease. I was gonna take it and clean it for him, but then the other officer came and I didn't really know what to do, and then he just took it and everything else of the doctor's.
Zedor, can we get the 2 oil things?
Certainly.
Does it smell like this one or this one?
She just like leans in, like, oh, ooh, yeah, that one points at the vial.
The one with the oil from the puddle.
Yeah. Because the other one's in a rag, so I'm assuming you just have the rag.
No, I put it in I put it in its own bottle.
You
I'm not
squeeze
getting
the
that
rag
oil
into
on
a
my
bottle,
clothes.
or take the whole rag and put the whole rag in a bottle.
Take the whole rag, put the rag in the bottle.
Okay, that's what I figured. Okay, yeah. I don't know where I remembered seeing that, but oh, maybe it was a handout. Anyway, yeah. So she says it smells like the one in the from the puddle.
Okay.
Right. And do you know where he was, like, where he ran off to? Or, like,
No,
what direction?
he ran out the back door. Is all I saw. I mean, I obviously didn't follow him out. He seemed like he was in a hurry, like he had to be somewhere.
Show us this back door.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. She just leads you, like, out, like, through the kitchens, and there's just, like, a back door into the alley behind the hostel building.
Can I see if there's any tracks?
You can roll.
What is that in this?
Survivals. I'm gonna use my inspiration to
Sure.
roll that again. Oh wow, it's not better. 10.
Yeah, like, there's some feet prints going out the door, but, like, it's in a city. There's not, like, mud.
Oh, okay. I was thinking back alley. It wasn't paved.
It's cobblestone.
Gotcha. Well, maybe I shouldn't have used my inspiration on it. Oh well, it's gone.
Yeah, no, I rolled a 7. I can't follow him either.
What am I rolling?
Survival.
We're trying to follow the tracks. Is survival roll and try to follow the tracks out the back door.
Survival. I got a 12.
Yeah. No.
Mina, roll survival.
Why? 15.
Yeah. I mean, it hasn't.
Exactly.
Yeah. It hasn't been like there's no puddles or there's nothing really to track.
Yep. Well, it was worth taking a look.
Yeah.
Because it's not like that really took any time to realize that we couldn't follow the tracks.
You guys spent 12 hours looking at cobblestone.
There is a contingency for that in this.
Staring at
So if you do want to spend like
No.
days, you can skip
No,
over
we
some
want to
stuff.
get this
But
investigation.
Alright.
Move on.
To the father or the inn tavern?
Where are we each located?
Well, there's another place we can go with our leads, because we could go to the police because we've got 2 leads with the police, which is getting more information on our victim
let's
via
do
her
that.
rap sheet, and also looking up this supposed officer, which
Yeah.
may be a
Let's do
dead
that.
end,
We're
but
still
it's
more sure.
it's a solid follow up. We do have to go down to Bosom Strand for that. So
Where's her father located?
Parody Lake District.
Pretty Lake, North Shore, Boston Strand. So
And where's the tavern?
The tavern is the Thinking Man's Tavern, Bosom Strand.
So we've got a lead in Parody Lake. We've got 2 leads in Bosom Strand. I say we head to Bosom Strand.
Yeah.
I agree.
And I think we should head to the police first because it's still fairly early in the day, and we'll catch more people at the tavern a little
Yeah.
later
Later.
on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Agreed. And we're walking.
And we're walking.
All right.
But I know a shortcut.
He does.
Oh, it's true.
So instead of taking an hour to get there, it takes only 30 minutes. So you spent it's about 30 minutes getting to and investigating House of Blue Birds, and then another 30 to get to Bosom Strand. So it's about 2 o'clock now. Okay. And you want to go to the prefect?
Yes.
There's you get to the police station there, and you can tell that it's been a busy couple of days with the arson and other people reporting terrorist attacks, whether they're legitimate or not. It's going to take you a couple hours to get attention and get somebody to pull down that file, just as a heads up.
Can we? What is our rep with the police?
I believe it is 1. I think you're still a solid 1 with everyone at the moment.
Cool. Could we pull that in as a favor?
Yeah, let's give it a shot. So right now it's a equal to your prestige, a few hours. So
Okay.
if you want to lower it to as little time as humanly possible, you can make a check.
Yeah.
What kind of check?
Charisma,
charisma
persuasion, DC 8 plus 2 per level of the favor. So this is a level
somebody
1
else?
favor.
So it
So
would be
DC 10?
10.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody else want to take the lead on this, and I'll help.
It's persuasion.
Yes.
Okay.
And I will help.
And this is like you can call in 1 favor per day as a group.
Right.
Per day per day from each group, right? Like we call in this.
Oh
favor,
yeah, yeah.
and we
This
still call in
yeah,
this one.
exactly. So this is a favor with
If
Yep.
if he's trying to help me, do I get advantage on this?
Yeah, I mean that's how helping works, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
pretty sure.
Okay.
I just don't
Cool.
I don't know a situation where you wouldn't assist a party member making this check.
Yeah, I don't know either. I guess it's why you never go anywhere alone.
15.
All right. So you does anyone have a contact in Bosom Strand?
Bosom Strand? I do
I
not.
don't think so.
No, not specifically.
But
I could use my dad because I'm sure he's sold some guns to some of these guys.
and I mean you guys were in the paper recently.
It's
yeah.
true.
Yeah, we're
We can
famous.
pull on that.
We are very important people. Sorry, I don't like saying that. We're dumbasses who are doing some very important work. And very important work needs to be done as quickly as possible. Time is actually of the essence, and I'm not bullshitting you.
One of
I will reward you with pastries.
one of the
Hey.
one of the clerks actually recognizes your picture from the paper, Mina, and is like, "Oh, you're the ones who did the thing on the island. Like I heard all about that with the Dutch. Wow, you guys are amazing."
Thank you.
Yeah, I can pull that file for you. No problem. Let me just jump in the back and I'll have it for you in just a jiffy. And
Speak for yourself on being a dumbass. I'm getting an education.
actually,
Nice.
3 of you have ties to the university, so
That's true.
Mine's
Just
very
because you're educated don't mean you're not
And
a
the one of us
dumbass.
that doesn't has a 16
Fair.
intelligence.
Point. I mean, I also have a 60 intelligence, so
I know plenty of educated dumbasses.
It's true.
I think everyone on this call qualifies.
Kind of my point.
It's true.
all right. I'm gonna make it so you guys can edit and add notes on here,
Ooh.
just in
So
case
this
you want
was
to.
our favor for today with Flint.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, she was cute.
Aw,
She made a pretty corpse.
she did make a good
Does
choice.
anyone want to just kind of brush through the important stuff?
Yeah, let's see. So, her name is Nalasa Hume. She, let's see, she's a half-elf. Lived in Flint, black hair, green eyes, not a spellcaster, no known aliases. She
Know where
lived,
works.
she lived at 47 Magazine Street in Parody Lake. She in a factory where it was her workplace and her home. Also allegedly lived 3.6 miles east on Batata Road.
In the
A lagoon?
Cloudwood.
Oh yeah, in Cloudwood. Okay.
Yeah,
In
I
a
think that's
flogging
important.
lagoon musician commune. Oh, that's where she used to live before. So she used to be a traveling bard,
Allegedly.
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 Before that, she lived in Parody Lake, shared building, mother's home, which was demolished winter 495. Her arrest record, forgiven with Stanfield's Matriculation Act of 328. Record notes various petty thefts, confidence capers, details lost during Parody Lake Central Office relocation, misdemeanor. And then
Ah, so she was a con
also,
artist.
yeah, and then also,
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
suspect was picked up
She
in a
was arrested
raid
for it.
of a known den of criminals located on 12 Oxman Street, Parody Lake. Suspect in presence of 2 men whom the arresting officer recognized as former accomplices, Ford Sorghum and Travis Starter. Lack of official records detailing affiliation prevented holding of suspect. Alleged accomplices pled guilty to various warrants.
Alleged
and were,
accomplices.
Right, alleged accomplices. But she didn't have any warrants on her. She was just arrested based on presence. And they couldn't keep her because there was no records.
Thanks for scratching out my chair, bud.
And also her bail was paid.
Oh
So
yeah,
that's
released on
weird.
bail by Heward Sechem. Court date set for summer for 500.
Okay.
For summer 500, whatever.
And so
Which
we
is-
have
Yeah, which would be 3 days from now, if she weren't
Oh.
dead.
Are you still gonna hold that court case even though she's dead?
Well, there's not much to charge her for if she's deceased. Is that what the fuss about I heard was going on up in North Shore?
Yeah, she died.
Hmm.
Murdered, perhaps.
I'd heard some rumors, but it's rumor travels fast and not always entirely reliable.
Hey, quick question for the DM.
Mhm.
Here
me.
she's pictured with a necklace. Are these? Is this rendering? Like, do photographs exist in this universe, or is this like a portrait? Or
That's a good
Basically-
question.
I mean, really, the question I'm asking is, can I take this picture to mean that she actually had that necklace, at least at some point?
For the sake of brevity, I'll say yes. Whether or not photography is a thing, I'm not 100% sure on, but I'll see if
Sure,
I can dig
we'll
up
call
anything.
it an incredible police sketch.
Yeah.
Well, it's one of those things. It's like I feel like you could take pictures magically in some form, but also we have enough of a industrial revolution that I feel like you could also possibly have photography.
Yeah. But she
the-
was not. She was also not wearing that when we found her. Correct.
Correct. And I believe you had another bit of information.
Yes, there were rumors that the person who had taken stuff from her body had taken specifically a pendant.
Mm-hmm.
So that seems like something we should be on the lookout for.
Good eye.
Okay.
If you didn't already have an inspiration, I'd give you one.
Whew. Well, I take the spirit inspiration. One.
Roger
one
Porter.
more thing. Go ahead.
Oh, I think it's the same thing as you. Does a Roger Porter work for you?
Roger Porter? Well, who would that be?
Officer.
Tall, pencil mustache, light hair. Said he was
Allegedly.
said he was an officer investigating the murder.
We believe he may be impersonating an officer in an attempt to cover up crimes related to this woman's death.
No, I mean, doesn't ring a bell, but I mean, we're here in Bosom Strand. I mean, if he works in, I mean, the murder happened in North Shore, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, maybe. I can look through our records real quick and see if his name comes up anywhere, but
Please do.
doesn't ring a bell. They go into the back again and come back a couple minutes later, and no, we don't have any record of any Officer Roger Porter either here in Bosom Strand or in our record of North Shore, or I even double checked the Parody Lake just to be sure.
That is what we suspected. We appreciate your. We appreciate you.
Oh well, happy to help, officers.
I'll bring pastries.
Oh,
We have some.
Constable.
No, those pastries.
also
I'll
they're
bring
chocolates.
Good pastries.
Those are chocolates and they're evidence.
These are chocolates and they are evidence. It feels so fucking good right now, guys. Let's go listen to records with headphones on.
Dark side of the moon.
All right. No, the other thing I was actually going to ask was we know that there have been a rash of fires, probably arson, that have been targeting factories. Is this factory on Magazine Street where she and Howard Setchum live? Has that been targeted? Basically, has it been burned down?
Oh, no, that one has not been burned down, but the other factories in that area have been targeted.
Cool.
At least
Also, I realized I don't.
last
want
I've heard, anyway. Like I said, news kind of travels slow sometimes and unreliable others.
Well, we have another place to check. That was her previous resident. No, that was her
That's
current,
her current,
resident.
Her previous residence is in the Cloudwood.
Yeah. With a musician commune. Kind of like it.
Can't trust musicians.
Actually, James, you've heard of this group
Oh,
because
Okay.
I mean, you've been to the Cloudwood, and you know you've
yeah.
got a contact there. You're at least familiar with this group, whether or not you associated with them closely.
I I mean, probably a member or two here and there. My primary contact is like the leader of a group that maybe a couple members of Flogging Lagoon, like, were also part of.
Yeah. Some overlap between druids and musicians.
Well, it's not really Druid. This is more of like a political thing because they
Yeah.
made the old traditions illegal.
Right. Well, and that's related to druidism.
The druid
Oh.
grows the weed and brings it to all of the beatniks, and then they have a party out in the woods.
Exactly.
I mean, it's called the Flogging Lagoon Musician Commune, so I just keep thinking about flogging Molly, so I'm going to be
I feel like that
Irish
can't
punk
be an unintentional coincidence.
All right, canon now. They play Irish punk. Like,
Yeah, sure. I'll allow it.
Okay, so we have another contact. We have another place to check out in Bosom Strand, which was the tavern. And then this doesn't give us anything new in Parody Lake. This is just giving it because we already knew about. Oh no, that's not true. Because we knew about about Sesham's Alcahest. We knew about that, but we also have a new address, the 12 Oxen Street in Parody Lake, known den of criminals.
Well, we also have Ford Sorghum and Travis Starter are probably like detained right now. We could talk to them.
Yeah.
Where is Ford Sorghum and Travis Starter? Where are they detained? And can we interview them?
Goodson.
Goodson?
Yeah, Goodson is
Goodson's Estuarial Reformatory.
exactly.
It's listed at the bottom of the thing.
Oh. Where is that?
Give me some sort of int check, because some of you might just know this.
Sure.
I'll just roll int. 9.
Fuck, I can't roll tonight.
I've got a 14. Yeah, I don't see how any of my skills could be useful here, so that's a 14.
9.
All right. Wow, I thought I was setting the bar low at a DC 10, but Zeodor.
Knows everything.
Goodson.
Theodore and his amazing friends.
Goodson is
Stop rolling the lucky die.
Goodson is a fleet, for lack of a better term, of about a dozen or so ships off the coast of Pine Island, where they send criminals.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it would make sense that Zeodor would know that actually, because he's spent the most time on Pine Island.
Yeah. So you've heard of it. You may have seen it out in the bay while you're over there, and known what it was. And if Zeodor mentions it out loud, each of you probably had heard of it, but maybe not by name.
Yeah. So
Actually, I'm surprised that I didn't know about it. Like, well, no, they probably wouldn't want pirates on ships.
Yeah. So when Ilferi asks, "Is silver on Pine Island?" I could see it from the dormitories back when I was in school there.
Well, we should talk to them at the very least at some point. Although they're probably not going anywhere, so we got time.
Yes, not unless they can swim very fast.
I now can.
I don't think that they are magical transforming birds, but maybe, I don't know. Okay,
I could turn into a shark or an octopus.
So what time is it now?
I have 2:30.
Okay. So it's still a bit early, but we could go to the tavern while we're in Bosom Strand. There
I mean,
probably
they
is
sell
still
pastries
someone
for
there.
breakfast, so
Yeah, we might as well.
Yep.
people will be there.
Yeah, and so we can go there first, and then go over to Parody Lake. Um, and then from Parody Lake, if we don't have another promising lead, it sounds like we're going down to the. We still have the Cloudwood to go to. Before we make our way all the way over to Pine Island.
So that's what I love about this adventure is it really introduces you to the city, which is
Yeah,
like a character in
I
itself.
love that I have to. I love that I have to like figure out. We're like planning our route through the city.
Yeah.
Oh, if we drop by the Cloudwood, I can grab Shrubbles, and he can help us out a bit.
But what about your paperwork?
It's done.
If we go over to the Cloudwood, though, it'll be after Parody Lake because the Cloudwood is far out there.
Yeah, I'm just saying. If we pass by, like I live there, so
Well, we have leads to investigate there as well.
right.
After all, she used to live there allegedly.
Right. That's why I'm saying when we do, we can take a
got it.
detour.
Yeah, I understand. Yes. To the tavern.
Sure.
Sounds
Alright.
weird.
So I found that birds cannot eat chocolate, so I can't eat chocolate.
So Fairy's dead. Alright.
Elfari hasn't had any. It would give
Roll
him
a
an
new character.
No, it's like it's like someone lactose intolerant eating cheese or drinking milk.
Ilferi
Ilferi's
didn't
dead.
eat any. Ilferi didn't eat any. I made sure of it. Also, birds can't eat chocolate, but maybe parrot people can. Who knows?
I get a little sick from it. I prefer not to.
So as we're walking over there, I have one more high as fuck Zeodor thing to say. Have you guys heard of this band, the Fog Hat?
Um,
I don't know why I really wanted to say that, but I thought it'd be really funny.
and on a related note, as you're walking through town, you do overhear some rumors. People in the streets talking about Renard Pell, a renowned composer from Slate, who will be conducting the Navras Opera House and plans to hold auditions for performers. This has led to a boom of sales in respectable attire for amateur Docker musicians who want to make a good impression.
Okay.
There's just extra little
No.
in the news bits that I've just been dropping as they become relevant.
So we're going to kill this composer.
Yep.
No. I want to be his animal actor.
Like a monkey.
Like if they need like a horse, they don't get a prop. They get me, and I'm the horse. And you don't have to train it.
Ilferi is the most well-trained dog ever.
I could be a dog. I could be a cat. I could be a giant spider. I could be a crocodile.
As well
I
as
could be a shark.
any other level 2 druid in the city.
As long as
Yeah, but I have charisma.
also the level 2 druids can't stay in wild shape for a whole play.
Yeah,
Oh!
I could be in wild shape for 2 hours now.
So he can be in a whole short play.
Not my experience.
Well, I have 2 uses of it, so it's 4 hours.
Right, but on Sundays when there's a matinee and an evening show, you're fucked.
I
That's
get
what
a fucking short
understudies are
rest.
for.
They're just gonna construct the like. There's actually this whole like subculture of like the writing of plays has been warped around this idea. Like only the center sections of the plays require the animal.
Yeah,
Like
and you get them back on a short rest. So like if it's a matinee and an evening show, like you take a short rest between and you're good to go.
Fair enough.
If you have back-to-back shows, though, you gotta have, you gotta have.
You
that
have an
relief
understudy.
Yeah, you have an understudy. All right.
Sorry, this coming to town was driving up the price of clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
there's
describe it
there's
as
been a
band.
boom in sales of respectable attire for amateur
Got it.
Docker musicians.
Man,
as
I
you
would be
all the
a porn.
time.
as you overhear from a group of dockers as you're walking over.
If this whole seeing the future thing doesn't work out, I know what I'm gonna do.
If this whole seeing the future and being a powerful nature mage doesn't work out for me, maybe I can go pretend to be a bird on
And
stage.
also officer of the law.
Officer of the law, international
Fairy,
hero.
Renaissance bird.
Okay, okay.
I'm gonna have to change your background to a docker though. Sorry.
What? Let's be
I'll just
real,
pick up a
though.
new background.
James has just come up with my next character.
Yeah. The Thinking Man's Tavern lies a few streets off from the main docks of Bosom Strand, memorable for the cobbled-together statue that stands at the entrance, an assortment of flotsam and jetsam assembled into the shape of a sitting man in deep thought.
I know why it's called Flotsam and Jetsam now.
Do you?
That's what water
I
is
do.
on the beach.
That came up
It's
in my
cool.
Call of Cthulhu game.
Oh, why? What the term means? Or, like,
But why? Like, it's debris, but I know why one is called Flotsam and the other is called Jetsam.
Okay.
Flotsam is what is left floating after a boat goes down.
Mm-hmm.
Jetsam is what was jettisoned as the boat was going down. To
Okay.
It's a matter of intention. I don't know how you would tell the one from the other after the ship sunk, but...
Jetsam will generally be more solid and like not broken because it was thrown
Sure.
overboard.
Lenny. No.
Oh, there's
Yeah.
two more terms too.
And if there's no wreckage,
No.
then it's all jetsam.
True.
So you come to the tavern. It's still pretty early in the day. There's not much of a crowd there. It's mostly the serving staff. Kind of seems like they're getting ready for a big crowd to come later in the evening.
I don't have my notes and forgot what we were gonna ask about here, other than the fact that she came here frequently with
So
her
yeah,
boyfriend of
she-
a few weeks.
Yeah, she was known to frequent here with Dollard
Boyfriend.
McDummy face.
Mhm.
Braden Sarkin. Met
Dullard.
at the Thinking Man's Tavern 3 weeks ago. Brought breakfast many mornings. Worked for... blah, blah, blah.
But they had met there. They frequented this place.
And then, yes, the chocolates were from the Thinking Man's Tavern. Dusted with Fay Pepper.
Oh yeah, and the
Right,
chocolates came
right,
from
the
here.
chocolates are from here too.
Yes, that's why we're here. Because they met here.
Did you all sell some chocolates to a Nilasa Hume this morning?
Oh yes, Nalasa. She's a regular here.
Yeah,
Not anymore.
she's dead.
What? Not what?
Sir, I take
Nilasa?
out the. I take out.
It's
may
a
I see?
it's a lady, but.
Oh, sorry.
How
Are you Mr.
dare you?
See that we had no information on.
She's a name tag that says Barb.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Looks like Bob from a distance, and she's got mutton chops, so it's hard to tell.
I apologize. I was raised by dwarves.
That is no excuse.
Can I see the chocolates that you? Or no, I have a better way of doing this. I take out the chocolates. Are these the chocolates you sold to Miss Hume?
Oh, it's got the stamp of the restaurant on there, hasn't it?
All right. Well, I open the box and show her the remaining ones.
There's a dead weasel in there for some reason.
That's how I can eat chocolate. Shapeshift to the things that can eat it.
I'm just imagining now the picture of the possum inside the box of danishes. Do what you must. I've already won.
But hang on, if you wild shape into something that can eat the chocolate. You've got to shit fast because if your wild shape runs out and that's still in your stomach, you're still getting that stomachache.
Oh, the implications of magic.
Maybe. We'll figure that out sometime. I think.
Oh, wait, no, I've got it. You eat the chocolate first, and then wild shape into the new form. Never mind. All right. What does she say when I open the box and show her the chocolates that have been dusted with the fey pepper?
Well, those look like our chocolates.
Do you
Are
dust
you-
all your chocolates with fey pepper?
Fey pepper? Why would I dust chocolates with fey pepper?
Insight.
People
I don't believe her.
like to get high.
Can I take a glance around the
I don't
chamber
mind-
and see if anybody looks high as fuck?
I don't. Okay,
Insight?
so Ilferi, insight.
I have a 21 insight.
Jack. I guess that might also be insight.
I rolled a 3
Probably.
again. I've rolled nothing but 3s and 4s tonight.
Oh.
Hold your dice differently.
No, you're supposed to roll the 20-sided die, not the.
Yeah, you know.
Why? Ilferi, she seems sincere. Why would I serve my patrons fey pepper? I don't mind what they do in their off time, but it's not right for a good establishment.
I put the chocolates away.
As you guys are talking, man wanders over with a I think he has a beard. Sure, he has a beard. Wanders over and kind of notices you guys and says, something wrong over here, Barb? Oh, I just was answering the questions of these nice officers here.
Constables.
Sorry. Constables. Oh, well, let me handle this. You go and see the tables over there. And she wanders off.
And you are, sir?
Tad Hilly. I'm the owner and I'm the owner.
We have some questions about the regular patron of yours. Nilasa Hume?
Oh, yeah. I think I remember her.
Yes.
What
Quite
about her?
tragic.
Tragic?
She died, unfortunately, earlier today. Possibly murdered.
Wow.
We are
that's,
investigating.
that seems pretty like a... How did she die?
We're still kind of trying to figure it out, but right now it looks like she was pursued, jumped out a window, flew a little bit, and then fell onto a fence and was impaled.
It seems at the moment that she was killed at the Denoran consulate while attempting to steal objects of value, and after having dosed most of the staff with fey peppers, using chocolates bought from your tavern.
Well, I assure you that our chocolates are... I mean, they're made here in-house, and we don't have any illicit substances that we put into our goods.
Quick game question. Is Fey Pepper legal?
I believe it's not.
I think it mentions that
Definitely
on the...
frowned upon at the very least.
Yeah, that is true.
Because I thought about having a fey pepper problem in the early stages of creating a character, and then I was like, nah, she's just gonna be happy on her own.
She's just high on life.
Where is the normal non-gun items? Fey pepper. This rare
fey
plant
pepper.
only grows near paths of the dreaming. Blah blah blah. When shooter smoked. Blah 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 blah. I don't think it's illegal. But
Just
Yeah.
not something you do in polite company.
yeah.
Oh wait, hold on. It has been a black market item
Okay.
in most of Langier.
Okay. Then yes, it is.
Oh, okay. No, I think she did that after the fact anyways.
I would like to see how I feel about him and all he's saying about whether or not they keep Faye Pepper on the premises.
Okay. Give me some sort of telling if guy is telling the truth about keeping drugs on his premises check.
I know that some DMs don't like people saying, I want to make an insight check.
Yeah, that's fine.
So I phrase it that way, but my
Yeah, no.
insight check is 21.
You can tell me what kind of check you're making. Yeah, he seems sincere.
Okay.
Yeah.
How often did she buy breakfast in general?
Oh, I can't really be expected to keep track of that. I've seen her
I
around
just mean,
often
like,
enough, and
Once a
don't-
week, twice a week, that sort of thing?
she is in, I suppose, most evenings. I don't know about the mornings. She's a regular.
Does she usually come alone, or does she have people that she often is seen with?
Yeah, she's got her friends, and there's all types of people in the tavern here.
Has she mentioned a boyfriend?
Which one?
Ah, that's exactly what I wanted to find out. So
She
she's,
seems to jump around a little bit. None of my business, but if you want to know more, maybe I should bring Barb back over.
I feel like that might be relevant. Kind of like what kinds of boyfriends she had. Because this one seemed to put her in a pretty
Hey,
prime
Barb!
spot.
They want to ask you some more questions. And the older lady scuffles back over. Yes?
So can you tell me about... I forgot her name again.
Nilasa.
Nalasa's boyfriends. Plural.
Oh, who knows with that girl? She seemed to jump around every couple of weeks. Seemed to be with somebody new. The most recent lad didn't seem like the sharpest tack in the shed, so to speak.
You
But,
don't say.
We met him. He's an idiot. Yes.
she mostly hung out with the band and the professors.
The band, you say? Are any of the members of the band part of the Flogging Lagoon musician commune?
I don't know that by name, but I know they've got some connections to the Cloudwood.
Can you tell me about her boyfriend before the dullard dude?
Honestly, I can't keep track.
Did they ever... Did she always date security people?
Security? I don't know.
Because this one seemed very convenient for her to get into the I was about to say constabulary. That's wrong. What's it called again?
Consulate.
Consulate to steal stuff. So maybe she dates for that sort of reason.
Oh, she was stealing, you say?
That's
Yeah.
what it seems to be, yes.
Drugging
She's-
all of the guards and then stealing.
She was always seemed to be getting into trouble.
Yeah.
I tried to steer her straight, but she never seemed to take my advice, naturally. I never really wanted to know what kind of trouble she was getting into, and I guess it's finally caught up with her. If it is as you say.
Yeah, it's hard to say at this point. Something definitely caught up to her for sure. Anything else of note you can tell us about her?
Don't know much else besides that. I guess If you were to come back later in the evening, you might be able to talk to some members of the band or the professors. They knew her better on a personal level, I suppose.
We might just do that, I think. Right?
Aside from the band, has she been spending a lot of time with anyone else in particular lately?
Well, like I said, there's the group that calls themselves the professors.
What can you tell us about them?
They're, I guess, self-appointed leader. It's a man known as Hannet Renus. They have weekly meetings here at the tavern and nightly drinking, going on about papers and books and topics over my head.
What was the leader's name again?
Hannet Renus. Hennet Rinus.
Are they associated with the university?
Yes, with Bard White.
We'll follow up on that next time we're in Central.
I forgot the professor's name that I gave you because I didn't write that down.
Professor Westwright.
Yes. Does Professor Westwright come by at all?
Not familiar with the name.
Worth checking. Yeah. I think we should come back later.
Yep. Sounds right to me. We do have, yeah, okay. Unless anyone else has got questions, we thank her for her time. And our next stop was Parody Lake, right?
What'd I miss?
Not
We
too
figured out who
much.
she hangs out with.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
We found out that that she hangs out with a group of professors, so we can add Pardright.
They call
University
themselves
to
the
our-
professors of note.
Right.
True. Yes, they call themselves the professors, but at least some of them do have some connection to Pardright.
I put big quotes around it. I think they're probably fakers and stupid.
Yeah. that sounds-
Well, you've definitely heard of their type. They're like the perpetual students that just kind of, they're not aiming to graduate. They just kind of jump around different studies, using up daddy's trust fund money and whatever.
Yeah, those fake intellectuals.
When I went to college as a freshman, there was a guy who was in his 6th year and hadn't chosen a major.
how do you
And
how do you
he
not
was
run out
doing
of
it because
classes?
his parents both worked there, so he went for free.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's pretty rad.
They the year I was there, they told him you have to graduate this year. We don't care what you pick.
Ha.
Fun perk of working at Georgia Tech. I could potentially just sit in on classes at Georgia Tech.
That's pretty
Oh, that's rad.
Yeah.
Just audit classes.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so
What was
we
in
know
Parody Lake?
we've got two things in Parody Lake. One is Nilas's home, which is also what's his face?
A factory. And such a
Yeah, Secham's home. And then the other place that we have is Known Den of Criminals at 12 Oxen Street. So we don't know if anyone will be there, and that one's certainly more dangerous. So that one seems like the long shot. It makes sense to me that we head to the factory first, because we have a bunch of evidence pointing us towards Secham's place.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Okay. To Parody Lake. It'll be 2 districts away. Which
Is
normally,
it 2 districts? We're in
Um,
Bosom Strand.
and you kind of have to go through North Shore to get to that section of Parody Lake. Like
Oh,
where
really?
where the 7 is more like the Parody Lake proper.
The 7. I think I'm looking at a different map because on the map I'm looking at 7 is Goodson's.
Oh.
It is the like north east of Parody Lake, like the city to the northeast of Parody.
Let me figure out which map you're looking at. The 4,
We're looking at the
Alchemy
worst
Row.
Oh, okay.
That's more what's considered Parody Lake
Gotcha.
on the east
Okay,
side of
well,
the lake.
all right. Well, in that case, is what's this area? 12 Oxen Street. Would that be on the way, or is that over on the other side also?
It is also over there.
All right. Well, in that case, we'll just head over there. Um,
Yeah, I can't turn into anything big enough to carry people through the lake. Sorry.
no,
That would
but-
still count, I think, as going through another district. But you do have Zeodor shortcuts,
Yeah.
so it'll only take you an hour to get there.
The shortcut on this one is you take the main road. Everyone always wants to take the side streets trying to get here. I don't know why.
And without too much trouble, you find what was it? Magazine Street. Setchums, Alcahest, and Etchings. Upon arriving, it's obvious that something is different about this factory in particular.
Is it on fire?
No,
Okay, that's
Is
good.
it there?
it is.
Is
Um,
clearly made of asbestos.
It might be.
That's rather impressive.
This whole section of lakeside factories all contribute in some way to military and naval resources. You would presume that a factory that makes acids and etchings would, or well, you would all be aware of that, to make the runes that you have for the type of magical, what's the word? Equipment that you saw in the coal tongue, for example. You would need very strong acids. The factory. Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. The factory to the left of Setchum's seems to produce various drills and bores for cannons, guns, and steamworks. Seems to be surrounded by a small mob of women singing traditional Wasuri folk songs. Thick metal chains wrapped around the double doors leading into the factory, and the entrance is guarded by burly men. Give me intelligence checks.
This is the drill factory next door, not Sedgwick's itself,
Yeah.
right?
I have a
Like
9.
striking?
15.
What was the
Holy shit, I can actually roll something. 19 intelligence.
Woo!
straight intelligence?
Yeah.
11.
So Zeodor and Jack, you recognize them as off-duty police officers guarding this factory.
And actual police officers this time.
Yeah. And you see very similar scene in the factory to the other side on the right of Setchum's, which seems to be like a fire dust factory. And even across the streets, like all of the factories in this area seem to have a very similar scene of the women, wives, mothers, and daughters protesting outside of these factories.
And this kind of leads into my. I do have one establishing question. How many of the factories are are burned down? Like, I know that factories in this area have burned down, but is it like we passed a couple of burnt down places on our way here, or is it like we look down the street and there's like 3 in every direction?
It's not that
Is
many.
this Baltimore?
Like there are a lot of factories in this part of the city, and let's see, I don't remember if did that bit I had have an actual number. There have been 18 fires so far. So, there's maybe a couple hundred factories and
Okay.
18 fires.
Okay, so all right, so like 10%. Okay, so that's a lot,
Yeah, it's a notable number, but
but it's not like everything is burned down.
yeah. By contrast, Secham's factory is one of the few that's not being protested. For one thing, there's a trio of guards at the front of the his factory, but they're just like mercenary thugs. People going in and out of this factory seem in good spirits, and the picket line seem to be avoiding this spot.
Okay.
The protests seem to be about.
Yeah, if you wanna kind of get a little closer and kind of listen in, there seems to be some sort of talk about people being overworked. There's a story that one of the women tells you, that the workers were locking the owners were locking the workers inside and not letting them leave unless they met their quotas, and just replacing the workers if anything happened to them, not paying the workers until the protests end. Now the women are protesting to try to get their husbands and fathers free. It's just like a whole big mess.
Okay.
Never mind.
Okay.
Oh, man, there's a strong Viva la Revolution going on in the fairy's head.
I'm just thinking about the Triangle Shirt Factory, but I think it still makes more sense for us to go talk to Session right now.
Yep.
All right.
All right. So go into the factory unless somebody stops us.
All right. You go in. The guards kind of raise a questioning look at you.
I flash them my badge.
And they just kind of nod and point up. There's a staircase leading up to. It's kind of like there's the big open factory floor, and then there's kind of a staircase leading up to a split upper floor, if you know
Sure.
what I mean.
Like half office, half home.
Yeah,
sort of
exactly.
situation.
Factory, workplace, and home.
Yeah,
One might say.
exactly. So you make your way there up the stairs, and I presume knock on the door.
Yeah.
A man comes to the door and opens it. Did I prepare his picture to share with you? I
He's
did.
got a picture. He did it.
No, he's got a picture. He might not die. Uh-oh. Bye, Sam.
What? Where'd Sam
Did
go?
Sam-
Sam disconnected.
Oh,
Oh no!
that's weird. And now
Also,
our overlay's
we're
fucked up.
all over the place.
Yeah, we are all over.
Yeah, as soon as
Hey.
one person leaves the call, it fucks up the
Sam,
Overlay
you
for
fixed the
everyone.
overlay. Good job.
Yay!
I did it.
Um.
I always knew I was a genius.
Oh.
It's true. You fixed the overlay
Um,
from one state over.
How may I help you, officers?
We have some constables, and we have some questions.
Hello?
And
Is this just be a constant running joke?
Huh?
The correcting officers to constables.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
People
Are
keep being
constables not officers?
wrong. No, we're
They're
constables.
better than
Officers are-
officers.
Yeah.
Officers
In this
are
setting, there
police
is a
officers.
distinction.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's kind of like the difference between. I mean, not quite, but it's like calling a detective officer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway. Constables. Sorry.
We come bearing some unfortunate news about your tenant.
Daughter.
Boy, daughter.
Nilasa.
Yes.
She
Yeah.
has unfortunately been found dead earlier today. Cause of death, probably impaling on the fence.
We are investigating her death, and we.
Hmm. Yes, I
You
kind of
seem
expected something of this nature soon.
what was making
What?
you expect that exactly?
Well, you see, my uncle is a sky seer. And,
What?
he's
Don Burns
dying!
They're just like, I'm your uncle?
Well, he's getting on in years and doesn't have visions very often, but a week ago he told me an adopted daughter will blindly ride the wind to her demise. And I didn't know what else that could mean.
That does seem. Yes.
Blindly
Yeah,
And-
she was covering her face.
covering.
Impaled.
Ride the winds.
Impaled, you said?
She
Yeah.
flew out of a window.
Don't know how she
Yeah.
managed that.
We have some suspicions, but we believe that she. At the moment, it seems as though she may have had assistance. You said your uncle. He said uncle, right?
Mm-hmm.
You said your uncle was a sky seer. Do you have his name and address?
Well, I have his name and a description. I don't really deal with addresses very much up in the Cloudwood, but... Oh, did I lose everybody? Hello? Uh-oh.
Hello.
Hello?
Did you have to go to
Hello.
bed?
No,
Are
it just
you back?
randomly dropped the call. That was weird.
Uh-oh. You're
oh,
next,
wait.
Carter.
Yeah,
Oh,
right?
God.
Let
I
me
mean,
share
on my
again.
screen, you're next.
Oh
Yeah, it's
boy.
going counterclockwise for me. So,
Yeah,
Alright,
for me,
there
it's
we go.
also going counterclockwise, but for that,
Okay.
we're just in different positions because it's different.
Sorry. I can give you his name and an address is a. I can point you in the right direction, but they don't really deal with addresses in the Cloudwood.
Is it is he a known associate of the Flogging Lagoon Musician Commune? To
No,
your
not that
knowledge?
one.
All right.
so what's his name?
Oh, his name is Navard. Navard Stetchum. Is there anything else you can tell me about my Nilasa?
Unfortunately, we're still investigating this time. Is there any way we could see her quarters?
Oh, I don't see why not. He starts leading you down the hall. I had been trying, been worried she'd been getting herself tangled up with that terrorist Gale. I didn't think that she would go far enough to really lead herself to danger, but she...
Do you know if she was involved with Gale?
Does Gale have a goatee?
I'm sorry?
Do you know anything about the terrorist Gale?
I've never met her. I've just heard Nalasa talk about her, and she tried to tell me about her message of trying to retake the old ways and kind of get back to our roots and that kind of stuff. I just thought it was a young girl trying to seek her own path. I shouldn't...
Shit. I like a terrorist.
You like, correction, you like two terrorists.
I like
You
two
like-
terrorists?
Yeah, you like the last terrorist we met
Oh
too.
yeah. Shit.
I just wanted to instill, I try to run my factory with pride and integrity, allegiance for the people of this city, but I didn't think that, uh-oh, did someone else drop now?
Yeah,
Uh,
they dropped again.
but it wasn't James.
It wasn't Carter.
No, it's just going back and forth across the top row.
Yeah.
Oh, for me it's the left column.
Oh, okay. We'll just...
So 2 for 2 terrorists that Ilferi, kind of agrees with. And a revolution that Ilferi also kind of agrees with.
Uh-oh.
Well, I mean, it doesn't sound like they're calling for revolution. They're just calling for, ethical, ethical workplace ssafety.
Yeah. Eat
What?
the rich.
It's not the same thing as revolution.
How dare they?
Whatever. Eat the rich.
I mean, I'm not disagreeing
As
with
long
that
as they're not
sentiment.
made of chocolate. Actually, I'm also a vegetarian, so polymorph the rich into plants
That doesn't count.
and then eat them.
Can't you just turn into a carnivore?
Yeah. Well, no, I am a vegetarian by choice.
Yeah,
Um,
so that doesn't count.
can we-
polymorph people into plants?
Hey
and
guys,
then eat them?
can we try dropping the call and all rejoining?
Sure.
That-
Sure.
They're having trouble. Oh,
Hey!
wait. Oh, okay. They're back.
Maybe
Maybe. Yeah.
Worked this time.
it would
Okay.
not freaking let us back on.
That is odd.
Okay. Where were we?
Guys,
Oh, okay.
need-
I wanted to instill a sense of pride and allegiance to the people of the city, but I think she took it the wrong way and wanted to find a way to punish the other factory owners. And I apologize for not reporting her, but she's my daughter, and I just thought,
She set the fires.
no, I don't think she had anything to do with the fires, but
Then how is she punishing them?
well, I don't know how deep she was involved with this Gale, but well, maybe Navard can tell you more. I think he's got some connections to her.
What do you know about the protests that seem to be happening with all of the other factories, and why is your factory not on their list?
Well, that's, I guess, my sense of pride is Uh-oh.
No.
God damn it, James!
Ah, it was James this time!
Jeez,
Ah.
Discord is just not happy tonight.
It's just not having it.
This is Discord's version of the red light. Just get
Yeah, right?
We're gonna get the hook here in a second.
Yeah, jeez.
Jeez, my accent's not that bad, Discord.
Like, geez, Discord, I know I can't find a consistent voice for my character. I'm working on it, okay? It's hard.
Hey, I've tried to juggle 20 different characters a night that have very distinct and unique accents.
Look, Discord, nobody's watching us anyway. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
Discord, like, no one cares.
There are 4 viewers right now.
Yeah.
Well, the bot and
One
the
of
3
them is
viewers.
me.
Well, okay, the bot, you, and all right. Let's try doing the same thing we did with all leaving.
Okay.
Okay.
No, we've lost 2.
Ah, Jesus.
No, okay. We got.
I'm here.
Okay. But it looks like James was still not able to reconnect.
Well, he hasn't. Yeah, he hasn't said anything either. So. I don't know what. Maybe he's restarting his computer or something.
Maybe.
Do we want to call the evening and...
Oh, I want to try to get through this.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm just thinking out loud.
I'm just gonna run an ad for now.
Yeah.
Oh, he's back.
Oh,
Hey!
All right, cool.
No ads!
Okay.
I was saying something about treating your workers fairly.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was saying about. I guess the morals I was trying to instill in my daughter was, I like to run my factory fairly. I pay my workers and give them time with their families, and it seems to lead to higher production than I've heard from my colleagues at the factories that push their workers too hard.
And this view is unique among you and your colleagues?
No. Well, there might be some others out there that have any sense of human decency, but few and far between, it seems.
Mm.
Anyway, here's her bedroom. I don't know what you'd find in there, but you're welcome to poke around.
Oh, I did have one more question.
Of course.
Nilasa was seen with a pendant. Did she have? Did it have any sort of sentimental value? It seemed to be important to her in some way.
Well, I think she'd gotten it soon after she started getting mixed up in the stuff with Gale.
Let me see. Thank you.
I'm gonna turn into a weasel.
Can I insight check this guy?
Sure.
Like, I believe him, but I don't know if I should. I think my insight's a +1, so I think that's only a 9.
I will also insight.
No, it's a 10.
Sincere.
I get a 14.
He seems sincere.
Ooh, he's definitely lying. He's clearly the villain of the campaign, Catherine.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's just kill him now and derail the whole
I
thing.
kneecap him.
I burned down his factory.
Wait, shit, I gotta jump ahead now.
As the great worm rises from beneath the city.
No. Okay. So what do we see in Nalasa's bedroom?
Investigator, perception.
I'm sniffing around as a weasel, so
Okay.
I'm looking for sense basically.
Mm-hmm.
I got 12.
25.
Investigation 19.
I got 12. Investigate.
Investigation. 16.
Uh, um, it's a pretty. There's not a whole lot to see. It doesn't seem like she spends a lot of time here. Um, there's some clothes that are, you know, well made, nothing too fancy. Um, there's some money, but not more than maybe a couple gold at the most. Um, and you find a lesson book for learning Elvish.
Yeah, I guess there's nothing really to sniff out around here.
No.
Hmm.
Um. So, Heward Setchum still with us?
Yeah, he's just kind of hanging out in the doorway.
So Nilasa was learning Elvish.
Well, she seemed interested in her heritage, I suppose.
Do you know if the terrorist Gale is an elf?
Um, yes, I believe so.
Could this
Or
have
elf, or I've heard some rumors she might even be Eladrin, but
forbid
Sorry.
you?
Rather than write that she was an elf, I put pointy ears on the symbol of a person that I put next to my notes. Sorry.
that would apply
Yep,
to
nope, that
either
works.
race.
Um, yeah, I mean, elves and Eladrin look basically the same. That's how the Eladrin made in the first adventure fooled us. Um, is did her interest in this coincide with her interest in Gale?
Well, I suppose you could say that. I
Could you go into more detail? Sounds like you have something more to say.
well, it's not so much of that. It's I don't know. It's been so hard trying to make her see right while also trying to have her see all the wrong that happens in the city. I feel caught in the middle. I see both sides of the argument and have gotten um, into arguments with other men in my position before, and I don't think that either side is wrong. But
That's the way it goes.
I I want you to try to see my uncle Navard. He seems to have the respect of radicals like Gale, but he's the farthest thing from violent I can imagine. Um, he might be able to arrange something, a peaceful meeting between you two, you and Gale, that you could come to some sort of accord and prevent more misguided kids from getting themselves killed.
It's always a plus.
And actually, Ilflair, you have heard of Navard. He's pretty prolific. And
Okay.
I would imagine that uh, Kaya Faye Farron,
Yeah.
she's probably part of the same commune as Navard.
Okay. Um, that sounds good.
Okay. Did anyone else have anything they want to do here?
Why did you adopt her, by the way, and when? I guess. Like, why her?
Um, she had wandered away from home when she was still young and came here looking for work. Um, I just took pity on her and gave her a place to stay and took her under my wing. I, thought I could make a difference in one life at least. But,
Well, it seems to
well,
me you make a difference in quite a few. considering how you treat your workers compared to everyone else.
I do my best.
Your best is more than a lot of people can say they do.
Oh, I
No!
appreciate it.
Who did it? No! It's still not me! Still not me!
Carter is the lone survivor.
I'm the only one!
Oh my god.
Alright, well, let's just try to get through this scene.
Yep.
Since Discord doesn't seem to want us to keep playing. Well, if you've got any other questions, I'm of course willing to answer them, but I do have a lot to see to with the government pushing for lower prices on these etchings and the men who have been threatening me, and it's just been... And now
Who's been
this with
threatening
my
you?
daughter. Well, there's been this man who came to my factory wanting to buy cases of Alka-Hest, but insisted I not report the sale to the government. I refused. He got angry, made heavy allusions to the fires that have been happening around the area, and left saying that he'd be back.
Can you describe this man?
He smelled weird, like burnt engine grease, for one thing.
Well,
What do you look
did
like?
he smell... I pull out the vial of the oil. Did he smell anything like this?
Yeah, that's it almost exactly.
Thank you.
Do you have any facial features, facial hair?
He was wearing a hood. I didn't really get a good look at him.
Did he have an accent?
You're sorry.
And
But
when was this?
They came. Oh, somebody came a second time though.
With an
two
accent?
men. They just seemed like toughs. I stalled and said that I needed time to arrange something. I had them followed, and when they left, and they went to towards the seedy part of town near the Nettles. But
Towards Oxen Street, perhaps?
who can keep track of anything in the Nettles?
I know a few people who can.
Were these men also wearing hoods?
No, they were just kind of your bigger, rough and tumble type of folks. Seem more like enforcers than the type of people that are actually the ones cutting the deals. Large, dark-haired, nothing really stand out about them.
Got it. No character portraits.
Guess they gotta die.
I mean, they don't have to. They just are going to. It's a natural part of the environment.
If you ain't got a face, you gotta die.
You guys have... I'm sure you've killed somebody with a... Oh, Nalasa died. She is a face.
Yeah, but
Yeah, like
yeah, she had a face, and we are spending this whole arc investigating her death. Tons of people without faces died constantly, and we don't give a shit.
I think she's actually... I'm looking at the list now. I think she's the only one with a face that has died so far.
Exactly.
Though our goblin buddy is still good. He's missing a leg, but he's still alive.
quick,
Yeah,
someone draw.
He's
someone
doing
draw a
paperwork
portrait
now.
of him.
Quick, before he dies.
We should check on him sometime.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
His
Do we
name
have-
was... I wrote it down.
We need to find a cleric with like regeneration.
Barton.
Burton. Every
Yeah.
freaking time.
Yeah.
I trained under him, technically.
I
Thank
feel
you
like I
for-
should have other questions, but he seems like a very upstanding citizen.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time. We understand that this must be difficult for you. If we have any further questions, we will be back.
You will speak
Oh,
with
wait,
Navard.
hang on. I did have another question for him. You said that you were stalling for time with the two toughs. Do you have a rendezvous with them?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't have a specific time, but I'm sure they'll be back.
No!
Damn it!
Murder!
No! Wow.
We're done here.
Yeah. That's.
Go.
Let's
Damn
give him a
it.
second to see if we can get back in just for the wrap up, but
We have had a TPK as far as Discord
Yep.
is concerned.
Yep.
we have even the dungeon master.
The Dungeon Master and now every player. Hey, Carter.
Yay!
Gotcha.
Yeah, it did. It finally caught me. It could catch me. I'm not the gingerbread man.
All right. Well, on that note, I think we're gonna wrap up for the night, just before discard.
Great session.
Unless
When-
anyone had
when
some
I-
final questions.
I mean, when I cut out, I was trying to ask him if they.
Oh,
could-
sorry.
anything else
Yeah,
like that.
he said no specific rendezvous time had been set, but he's sure they'll be back.
Do you need a watch out, by chance?
Well, I've got
Oh, you
some
have a couple.
contacts. Yeah.
There were guards outside. I forgot.
Well, there were off-duty police officers. Oh, well, that's true. There are also a couple of hired guards, but we've seen how effective hired guards are in this city.
You should do some drug testing today.
Some what?
Check to see if they're doing drugs, like Faye Pepper.
Oh, that's actually yes. Thank you for reminding me. I did want to ask him that. Do you know if Nilasa had any do you know if Nilasa used Faye Pepper?
I don't know what that girl was up to. Not to my knowledge, no. But
All right. Thank you.
all right. And with that, we'll wrap up for the night.
Okay.
I think
Do we want to try to check on the known din of criminals before we go? Because I suspect that that's going to be a short scene.
Next week.
Yeah, we'll do it next week. Can we take a quick
I can just tell you that I mean you can go around there. That's like nothing too special. That's abandoned.
All right, yeah, that's
like,
what I figured. I basically
either
figured
that
we
or
would
there's
stop
some bums just kind of hiding out, and any questions or directed attention just kind of leads to. Huh?
Cool. Basically, I wanted to get that done so that we could start next week going to the Cloudwood, which I figured would be more interesting.
Cool. Is that the priority then? You guys think?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it sounds
Gotta
like
get trouble.
And we have
Alright.
multiple things leading us to the Cloudwood now. We do have one
Awesome.
thing leading us to the Nettles, but I think it makes more sense to go straight to the Cloudwood and hit the Nettles on the way back.
Yeah.
Yep, sounds good.
All right.
Can we take a short rest on before we get there?
Yeah.
It'll be an hour.
Yeah, we'll do that next week.
Maybe.
Okay, no, maybe we'll do that next week.
Okay.
Because
Yeah,
that's
'cause I'm
an
thinking-
hour that we sit and do nothing.
I wasn't sure if we could take short rests while just walking.
That's fine. I mean, no, you wouldn't. But I mean, yes, I am keeping track of time, but I don't want you to feel that like